Hello and welcome back to the round table again, and we are examining Angel's deduction.
Cross-examining an Asian.
An
What
angel.
is that?
Oh, an
Ah,
Asian angel. Nah, it doesn't
mm,
look much Asian though, for
mm.
reasons.
I mean, if it was made in Japan, from their perspective, they tend to make things that look Japanese to them.
Yeah, but
And
Japanese is not Asian though.
what? Then what is it? Indonesian?
No, it's Japanese and Asian.
What? Asia is a continent,
Yes.
and Japan is part of that continent.
No, it's not.
Then what is it a
Chinese
part
or
of?
Asian? I don't know. I think
Yes,
there has to
China.
be a distinct way. Chinese, Korean,
China is.
Japanese, Asian.
Yes, they're
I
all
don't know.
in Asia.
No, they actually, the Japanese go more into the Western style more than their own.
Objection
No,
is all I have. Is all I have to say to that.
hold it.
Anyway. Hold it. That is
Whatever.
clear malarkey.
Clear malak.
Let's see, Lana Sky. Did we go through this already?
This is the.
Yes,
Oh,
yes
wait.
it was.
Did
She
we?
called the victim.
Oh yeah, we can press. That's why. Yeah.
Sure. Should we press her or?
I mean, yeah, sure. Why not pressing her? I mean, depends on how much you want to read. Or you
Well-
press her only on the things you want to press her on.
Except well, what was it? The second case? There was that one time where I had to press one on everything in order for it to even
Yeah.
continue.
I mean, yeah, that
So-
makes sense, but it's not every time like that.
Yeah, well, whatever. You've said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie.
I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again.
Rookie? Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, alright, and it's you!
Try not to confuse the defense witness. They are not very quick on their feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim?
Her actions speak for themselves. Well then. And at what point would she have called? You have no proof that Miss Guy called him there. You have no proof that she didn't.
He has!
Yeah, but that's only... it only shows the last call,
Oh.
so there's no telling if there's more history.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts?
There's no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone. Huh? Oh, that's a discrepancy though. There was a call on the phone.
She might have written him a letter. Come on. You could have tried public phone first, at least.
In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office, where he was murdered.
I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day?
I mean, she's sure, but why?
That also doesn't... Well, this doesn't exactly prove her point. I'm sure if the prosecutor had a grudge... What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? Your dignity. See, we agreed there is a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree?
What?
I get it. I get it. It's like that Forrest Gump thing where life is like a box of chocolates except with pretzels.
Oh,
That's why my lunch was so salty.
This judge isn't very good with metaphors.
the suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this?
It's simple. Nothing else could drive a blah blah blah. You already went through that. So
To
she
plunge the
simply-
knife in again and again. Ah, that's wrong though. There's only one cutting wound. Only one stab wound.
Yep. Aren't you glad we went through all that pressing? You say she was stabbed. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise.
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look.
It's in a book.
The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
He
You're truly the
totally
best.
stole your fire! What a hunk! He's my hero, really!
Yeah, truly, he's the best one we got in this room.
What about my objection? No one noticed?
What a hunk! She really said what a hunk of a man! What a
Wow.
hunk! Oh.
Well, witness,
You got the crime scene set, right?
oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from a victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
And her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at moment's notice, I suppose? She is right. Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood?
Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib.
There's a bib.
I don't know. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like a kindergarten sometimes. Is it one of those things that kids wear to not spill food?
Oh, that could be.
Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest.
However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound.
Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony.
Mr. White, this is our chance!
Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Star has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off.
The short wick burns out. Wait, the short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. What is a wick? What?
Some sort of match?
Yes?
Or a candle or whatever? Or the part of a candle that burns? I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle?
Oh.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, add more wax, and even a really short wick will burn longer.
Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Oh wait, can you look at the photo again?
Yes, I was suspecting that as well. Either there isn't blood on her
Or she doesn't have the
chest,
scarf.
or that one,
Ah!
yes.
The scarf is not around her neck on this photo.
Easy!
Easy! Easy! Looked like blood. No, she didn't have a red muffler on. You are stupid.
Miss Star, I demand an explanation.
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
What?
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph.
Huh? But that can't be!
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations! Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. You object and he gets all the glory.
What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red, really.
Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. Let's get down to business to defeat Mr.
What kind of business?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Wait, how did she apprehend it if she was in the visitor area?
That is also something.
She could have
Very
run
well.
away in the time she needed to run around.
Yeah, very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least.
Oh, we will be the judge of that.
Ultimately, we couldn't check the most important part of her testimony.
Most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth.
Just like the soundtracks, the soundtrack is actually that we hear when we object, and that is called Moment of Truth. I think that's the soundtrack name.
That's nice. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. And yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about the scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. And suck like a... That's-
Suck like a what?
and
Like a
No.
vacuum cleaner.
no. Like an octopus. With its
Oh, that's even more kink.
That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of a snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks.
Note to self, Mr. White is weak against poisonous snake bites.
Actually, they're venomous, not poisonous. Or
What is the
maybe.
difference?
Venomous is something that is injected, while poisonous is something that is eaten, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, so a
You
venomous
can
snake.
poison someone by cutting someone.
A venomous knife.
I mean, poisoned arrows, for example? That's not ingested.
Well, I would have to Google the right answer. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, nicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You will cross-examine, if you will.
Well then. After the murder, run behind a partition off to her side. That much is. There is that weird wall thingy. So where is this? Yeah. So where is this partition on the floor plans?
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then? Other than contradict yourself again, because how could she kick over the oil drum if she hid behind that wall where the oil drum is not anymore?
Yeah. Let's see. Quickly caught her.
Later White's turned, arrested her on the spot.
Yeah, we're just gonna press her to see if that unlocks it. You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Yes. Yeah. This is it. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was...
She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block.
So you witnessed the murder from here?
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The cough-up queen lunch lady athlete, indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast.
Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too.
And
so
she
how
did it in
did
high heels.
Well, maybe she's just very skilled with them. So how did Miss Sky not get away?
Oh.
Okay, so that is something they brought up, but there's something more to it apparently. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word?
So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean. Oh, we're getting several possibilities. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately.
My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
No, the court doesn't say, mister.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, he was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone?
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should of course add this to your testimony.
There are things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18, or was it? I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell phone instead. Let's see, we'll press her further on it. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Aha! I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen closer, rookies. More details. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time...
Oh, that's a judge.
And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this?
What is it, Mr. White?
Resistance is futile. Let's see.
How could she see that? There's a wall between you and her.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I was about to ask. Just checking here. Yeah, I guess that little flap on her hip would be a pocket for her to have the phone in. Let's see. And ha!
That's weird.
Mister! What you say?
That is weird that she would make this obvious of a mistake after telling that she went behind the wall.
She's panicking, I guess. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky.
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and you'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it.
Whoa!
That's it. It sounds like an old man. We have to do a girly scream.
I'm trying, it's hard.
Something. Nah, that's not dramatic enough.
No, she's not quite at that level.
Order, order, what is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she is coughing up lies.
That's quite a claim, Mr. White. Perhaps you will allow me a question.
Did the objection just for a moment there float behind her hat?
I have not seen that.
It looked like it. Well,
Is that Ben? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... Oh,
The order of events or where she saw it?
She...
Where she saw it, the order of the events or what she saw. I mean, if she would have made the phone call... Tried to make the phone call before that? And then running behind the wall?
Yeah, there is still my theory that she was on her way to her boyfriend, so she would have gone to block A either way.
Yeah, but then she couldn't. Then she couldn't have made the call if she would be that close.
The order of events, though. Why would she try to call Emma after and then try the wall phone, the emergency line,
That's
or
the
whatever?
thing. She thinks probably that she wants to call someone because she saw her calling someone before. And she knew that the telephone was on the other side. But then again, she heard her say muffler.
In a dramatic
But
voice.
then again, it would make sense because of the oil drum.
Yeah, the old drum. Oh yeah, they were supposedly...
Kicked over in the struggle.
Yeah, and the struggle should have been behind the partition.
Yeah, but that can't be if it would be behind that. So the order of events it must be, right?
Yeah, it's either that or what she saw. She lied about the order of events. Miss Sky used the emergency phone before the murder.
What I see, I hadn't thought about that.
Or is that wrong?
That took the wind out of her sails.
Mr. White, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory. But why would anyone use the emergency phone before the murder?
Huh?
Just when you think he can't sink any lower, he amazes us. I applaud you, Mr. White.
You ordered the orange peel lunchbox, right?
Oh shit, okay, we were wrong. Well, I was wrong.
I guess that teaches me to not get excited before the evidence.
One more try.
Huh. I see it in your eyes. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Alright. Once more.
What is it then? Then what she saw or where she saw it?
And like we said, if she was already in block A, or could she have seen it through...
Or she was already in the security room and had to run out of it.
Let's see, it does...
There, security room is there.
Oh yeah. For some reason I didn't remember that as an entire room.
Then where she saw it, right? I guess, maybe?
Yeah, but that would also be a lie about the order of events, since she would have gone there before she said she went, so... God damn it, game! Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it.
Pointless to lie, I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location.
A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Before you call my lie pointless, take a look at this pointy finger. At least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Star witnessed this crime was here. Right here. This is the only place where she could have been.
What about the photo she took, though?
Maybe it happened afterward?
Can't be, can it? How can she take the photo after she already apprehended her?
Well, she's possibly lying about everything at this point.
Yeah, I guess.
The security guard room?
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot.
Really? Like I can't... There's something about the angle that makes me not even understand what part of this is the
Look
room
up.
that she'd seen.
It says security. It's like a balcony.
Oh, I thought that was just a sign.
Yeah, but yeah, that's probably what they mean.
Okay.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have been with her, where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star?
How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned.
Today, a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky?
Mr. White, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. Yeah, but who took that photo? That truth still stands.
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Me?
Who else?
Mr. White, let's review what we know.
Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Angle distance to the crime, difference in lighting.
What?
Distance to the crime, angle of view to the crime. It should be angle of view, right? Considering the whole bit about the
But the vital difference.
it's still somewhat, I would assume, the same distance to the crime scene.
I mean, she would not need to climb the fence.
Yes, but that is not mentioned in that
Yeah.
text, so... Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change.
Or the angle? What do you mean?
The photo, right?
Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime.
And this is important. Why?
Oh, it's wrong. Okay.
Really?
Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright.
Mr. White, let's review what we know. Listen! Hey, listen!
No, you're turning into a real Fae.
Listen!
No!
Listen!
No!
Hey!
Witness the crime from the security guard station. Start from B block.
The lighting is the most, so it is the distance.
I just don't
Because
know
the lighting
why.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't, but I'm not sure why the distance is the right one. It
I don't know.
changes the distance. Yeah. It changes the distance between her and the crime of the scene of the crime.
Crime of the crime
The crime
scene.
of the scene.
My condolences, Mr. White, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet.
Yeah, that was pretty much the logic I was using.
I don't see how that would change what she could see.
What she saw is not in the question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Guy?
Well, witness.
Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J. You don't want to know what that stands for. Lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
PB&J? What could that mean? I thought peanut butter and jelly lunch.
Well, someone got lunch.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass wall station. And before I knew that what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. So then it would really take a lot of time. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
Huh.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes?
And she still didn't try to get away.
This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
I still haven't used the spark.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Oh, absolutely!
Uh-oh.
Mr. White, you have to do something.
Do I have any evidence to stop this?
I don't know, do you?
I am not sure either. Was the door locked? Or we don't have any evidence to say that it was locked or that it was unlocked.
Well, I think if we just sit back and observe, he will just say if we have to raise an objection or not.
Well, just to be sure.
Just to be safe.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe Edgeworth will cut us some slack. I think I need more evidence before I go sticking my spork in this mess.
Oh, caviar! Oh, it makes my eyes tingle.
Mr. White! Look at that pig up there. No evidence can win against the raw power of caviar. It's a scientific fact. The only thing that's left is your strong presence and deft powers of deduction.
Huh?
Let's screw the lid back on those overpriced fish eggs.
Well then,
What objection anyway?
yes. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make a pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente.
What? That takes 10 minutes.
I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta in the knots, rookie. Just like the knots I'm about to tie around you. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Wow, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had a picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like at this point, the only thing consistent about her yells is the inconsistency of them.
Yeah. Like really bad orgasms.
Always faking it.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated the witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. White.
That was too close. I mean, that was...
Like always.
I was literally just forced into it, so I wouldn't call it too close.
I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
Oh no.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me.
I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say?
I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Mr.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness determination, I'll allow one more testimony as I eat this. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunch Slam motto says, you won't be disappointed.
Except when you are.
No. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Lewd? How lewd? Oh. See, are we out of time?
I mean, yeah, I would say so. But
Would
we
you say
have
this
to
is
at least get through the testimony or to something where we can save anyway. Since you have to give the testimony. Or we just save here and then you do the testimony next time.
Yeah, it's a good cutoff point to me, I'd say.
Yeah, alright then. That's it for today then. Thank you for sticking around, and we will see you then in the next episode. Stay tuned for more.
So yeah, and if you enjoy what you see, leave a like, subscribe, bring all the lunch boxes, and tell your friends.